Hello, my dear listeners. This video I will dedicate to the silver savers, and I will talk to the general overall trend in the monetary system of the world right now, because I think that people are focusing too much on a certain event and they are missing the whole picture. I have my, instruments of history that I like to show that wake some people up. This is the 10 ruble of the Soviet Union, okay, used prior 1991, when the Soviet Union was dissolved and the ruble experienced the hyperinflation. And so I have a bill of 5,000 rubles here that is printed in 1995. But there was also many reforms, and this is absolutely, both of them are not buying anything today. They are just, collectible items. It's very, when people see that, sometimes it wakes a few people up. Also, you're not going to see anything like about the dollar bubble announcing the end on a particular day on the CNN or in advance, because this is a slowly unfolding process, and it's very difficult to remove the dollar from the world trade, because it's been there for for a very long time. After the Second World War, America got the leverage from first of the gold standard, and then they managed to keep the dollar as a reserve currency after removing from the gold standard after the August 1971. So after the August 1971, we had 43 years that they've been floating, they've been profiting of this leverage to create the currency and buy everything around the world. And it's really difficult for international community to create an alternative overnight and remove all those dollars in circulation without hurting too much the world trade. But what you have to see that now is happening with bilateral agreements between Russia and China. Payments are settled in rubles and in the yuan. Russia is working since these sanctions that imposed on the pay system. They create an alternative to Visa or MasterCard. To go away from the dollar influence. And believe me, Russia was under dollar influence a very long time, because during the inflation during the 90s, the dollar was used as a gold, but it's not anymore as popular in Russia than it used to be. How is this, the economy of the contracting demand, because this reform will create a contraction of the demand, will affect the silver price, or silver value, I should say. So, first of all, the positive effect of the contracting the demand will be deadly for the financial derivatives, and we really need that, because there is a really, economy is really floated of all types of the financial derivatives, mostly in the bond market. It's this government bubble. So any alternative of this fiat bubble debt expansion will have a positive impact on the value of silver. It's very difficult to predict which direction it's going to take, because the market decide day by day what they prefer. There is several options available. I think the government fiat will stay. It's going to be, but his role will be diminished, and even small percentage of the financial derivatives going into the silver market will have a huge impact on the value. compare, if you compare the size of the bond market today and the silver market, if I think if only 1/1000th of the percent of the all the money that is in different bonds and bond derivatives moves into the silver, we will see multiples of the silver value that was reached during the 2011. So there is a good probability of that to happening. Gold is becoming more liquid also. I think that China will do something to add liquidity to the gold by creating most likely electronic money, or they will encourage the private money to emerge that will be accepted and will be used in the international trade partially. I don't think that all international trade will be in gold, but I think even if a small percentage of it will be, that's will also positively impact the silver. Also, in the collapsing demand, the real estate will not be so much attractive. So there is not huge money that will flow into real estate, especially it is overvalued right now. The food and food production will be stable and can receive some investment demand, but I think there will be political will to prevent the bubble in the food prices, because I don't think nobody likes too much financial money going in the futures and overpricing the commodities that people need to survive on a day-by-day basis. Will be political will to direct this into historical financial assets. And I follow the silver physical demand, okay, a physical demand, which has very little to do with the demand of the silver derivatives, okay. So it's been constantly growing from 2012, 2013, and 2014. Even the price come down, but this people still, even in the dollar amount, they save more in the metals, and we'll see the dollar reforms, the consequences that the government debt will be reviewed. The possibility of the government to borrow and the bond market will be reviewed. The fractional reserve banking will be reviewed. The central bank monopoly on money will be reviewed. And all those changes will be positive for the silver demand. It's so the savers should be rewarded in a new financial economy, and I think I will not be surprised if the silver savers will be rewarded in a new financial economy. This is all not 100% certain, but I give for all of this very high probability, and I continue to increase and hold on to my stack and patiently wait for the rewards to be reinvested. Thanks for watching, and please comment.